Hello, I'm John Fox and I'm from John West. I'm having a Danganronpa trigger-happy Havoc adventure. And I think I'm pretty much done with this investigation. It's been a week since I don't generally record during the weeks. I might try to more often, but I've got a day job which people tell me probably shouldn't quit. So what I want to do, I want to turn the sound down a little bit. I want to talk to the clairvoyant. Also want to have a look at these. So if we look at these 5, 10, 15 characters, right? I'll tell you what. I'll do it later. What I was going to say is, well, I was going to go for all the characters. This is a terrible way to do it. I should go for the report card instead. And I should decide who I think is going to be the next murderer and victim. Because they're the people I want to talk to when I have the chance. Because bloody Leon, I'll never know. I'll never know what his story is or anything unless I play again. So I've lost him. Like, luckily, presumably there might have been more Sayaka stuff that I could have got, but at least I got Melodious Voice. But if it's important that I figure out who lives, who dies. And I've got some ideas. I've had a week to think about things, haven't I? So what we're going to do is I'm hoping I can summon people with their doors, because that would be good gameplay if that were the case. So you're the clairvoyant, aren't you? Now I already know who did it. Oh, fine, I'll use the map. Because it's Leon. But I may as well have those truth bullets. Right. I'll be honest, the system's a bit weird. No. Right, to the gym. There's no way of getting to the gym. Of course there isn't. Cool. I do like this music. I don't like all the music, but I like this one. Then I think that's my investigation over. We can have the trial, whatever the hell that entails, precisely. Exactly, whatever. Oh, I can't walk around the tree. So, you see that sun? Is that sun dangling? Or is the circle thing turning and there's a hidden circle behind the chapter? Hey, hero, can I ask you something? No, I've got to get out of here, gotta get out, now. I've had enough, gotta break free. Hero, snap out of it. Sir, I'll point the microphone at my face. Huh, Makoto, what are you doing here, what? Hey, does this look familiar? That's my crystal ball. But it's all smashed, what the hell?
What the heck?
I only bought it because the guy said it was blessed. He said it was unbreakable. I'm so hungry right now. So how did it break after 45 minutes of anime game? Was it actually made of glass and not crystal? Did that guy totally dupe me? He said it belonged to the pillars of history. Genghis Khan, George Washington, Napoleon. He said whoever controlled the crystal ball controlled the world. Was that seriously all BS? Yes, it was. Let's put that aside for now. Can you say without a doubt that this belonged to you? Yeah, that's mine for sure. I probably forgot it in the laundry room last night. Someone must have come by and snatched it. You left it in the laundry room. That means anyone could have found it and taken it. Shattered crystal ball has been updated in the truth bullet section of my handbook. Thanks, hero. That's all I wanted to know. Sure. By the way, I'm almost afraid to ask, but how much did you pay for that thing? Everything I saved up from fortune telling for 2 full years came out to be like $1 million. Now, I appreciate yen is like polka dollars or berries in One Piece. $1 million? So I don't actually know how much that is in, well, pounds sterling, which is how I see currency. That's pretty cheap, actually. I mean, considering it gives you the power to control the world. That's just too stupid. I can't even feel bad for him. Ooh, I think that's the end of the investigation then.
I'm getting tired of waiting. What say we just get started, It's time for the long-awaited class trial!
I do love that he's got a glass of wine.
Now then, allow me to appoint a proper location for the proceedings.
I assume a place we've not been before.
Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school.
Right, sorry. Bit of a bump there from when I put the cup down.
See you soon!
See you soon! The red door on the first floor. That's where I should go. Now, where I have to go. Yes. Sure how I got it here, but okay. Also, it's kind of annoying me that... There we go. I'm going to do that. Because... Just annoying. It just has the sound... I assume it might be... Whoa!
No!
Whoa! You're late, Makoto! We've all been waiting for you! I bet you were afraid you'd be discovered as the murderer you are!
Listen to me!
Let's not jump to conclusions just yet! Save that for the class trial! There we can all reveal the details of Makoto's crime! So they really are convinced I did it. It's quite loud, I'm going to turn it down. But... I didn't do it. Me and Sayaka both know that all too well. But then, who is the killer? It's Leon! Leon's the killer. It literally says his name right there. The one who murdered Sayaka is really one of us? Look at his face. Look at his face.
Is everyone here? Okay then.
So, I'm not drinking and watching at the same time because I don't know how the truth bullets work?
Please board the elevator in front of you, which will transport you to the courtroom, where all your fates will be decided. I'll meet you all down there. I'll be waiting.
You know what I mean.
Well, I did my job. I'm counting on the rest of you from here on out. Alright, let's just go down. I guess I have no choice but to get on this elevator.
Well then.
Let us begin.
Yes, indeed.
Good idea.
Hey,
Are you scared? No, scared isn't quite right. I said it before, but it's up to you to uncover the mysteries surrounding the case yourself. For some reason, even though you clearly do know the answer, Kyoko. Kirigiri. If you don't, you'll never come to grips with the truth. I need to uncover the truth of Sayaka's death. I didn't need someone else to tell me to do that. In Sayaka's honor, I swear I will find out who the real killer is. As I raised my voice to try and give myself courage, I turned, trembling with anticipation, towards the elevator. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. Everyone else was already on the elevator, and I finally stepped on. The doors closed, and the elevator started to move. I'm just going to move my face very briefly, so you can see the full scene. Okay. The steel box descended with a heavy clunking sound towards the school's basement. I wonder if this is how a death row mate... What? It doesn't say an inmate feels when his time finally comes.
Oh.
Rather than that, is it not more like a defendant waiting to receive his judgment? That doesn't sound like it. Oblivious to our shared anxiety, the elevator lowered us further and further into the bowels of the school. You finally arrived! Ta-da! What do you think? Doesn't it just feel like a real courtroom? It's like a Hollywood movie set, right?
Shit.
Not even close. total shit.
Well now.
Okay. Everyone find your assigned seats and sit down.
Yahoo!
Hurry up now! Hurry up! We did what he said and found our seats. Again, I'm just going to move my face so you can see Sayaka there. Okay. Sorry, Sayaka, my face is going to have to cover yours for a bit. What's that face crossed out? The seats were... Oh, damn it. Oh, no, it's right there. I need that nearby. The seats were arranged in a giant circle. It was set up so everyone could see everyone else, which was also meant it'd be easy for anyone to transfer their tension and unease onto anyone else. The air seemed to grow heavy as we sat there. And so, the curtain on our first case opened. The deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. Dead. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith. Okay? A deadly class trial. Yeah, sure, I'll save it there. I'll save it there. Okay, let's open the e-handbook. I've got some truth bullets, which I can now apparently access. It's quite a lot, but that's his Leon. To be fair, this slash is very vague, but... The victim was Sayaka Mizono. The time of death is estimated to be around 1:30 AM. The body was discovered in Makoto's room in a dormitory. The death took place in the bathroom. The cause of death was a stab wound to the abdomen. A right wrist appears to be fractured. Okay, evidence of struggle. Replica sword sheath. Switching rooms. Toolkit. Makoto's room cleanliness. Sayaka's wrist. Dying message. The bathroom door frame. Makoto's bathroom door was difficult to open due to it not quite fitting the door frame properly. The only people who knew that were Makoto and Sayaka. So it had been unscrewed for that reason. Nameplates on the doors to the Sayaka and Makoto's room were apparently switched at some point. Kitchen Knight, Aoi's account, that I wasn't there. The trash duty, incinerator, bit of cuff there. Crystal ball. Alright, cool. That's our truth bullets. Got some presents and a report card and regulations. Okay, cool. Let's set some skills. We have 10 SP. Okay, increases damage to the opponent. What? When a statement is destroyed, effective during the bullet time battle, cost 3 SP. Oh, handiwork. Allows you to reload 2 bullets at once, effective during bullet time battle, costs 4 SP. Well, we've got 2 at least. Finish preparations. Last trial, baby. All rise.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Of course!
Oh, yes. I completely forgot that Junko died. I was like, who's that? Yeah, that's the other person I was annoyed that I never spoke to.
Okay then. Everyone, close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand? Before we move on and start the trials, can I ask a question real quick? What's going on with those pictures?
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier.
So it could have been Junker.
Friendship penetrates?
I hate you so much, Hifumi.
Okay, but what about that other empty seat? There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people. Okay, that about does it for the preamble.
That's very
Get
suspicious.
ready to get started. First up is the case summary. Now, let the class trial begin.
It's about to begin the debate to decide who we think the killer is. Anything I found, anything I noticed, I have to be ready to speak up about everything. Because this isn't just about me, everyone's lives are on the line. Your first non-stop debate is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely, yes. As things progress during each class trial, you will engage in a number of non-stop debates. During these discussions, characters will speak one after another without pause. It's up to you to unearth any lies or contradictions buried within their statements. What this means is that you'll have to use your truth bullets to refute what they say. Any relevant truth bullets you found during the investigation will be loaded into the truth cylinder. Use the left stick to aim and then fire with the Y button. Pay close attention to each character's statements and use your truth bullets to blast the right ones. What? Note that if you run out of time, you will automatically fail, so please be careful. If you press the start button during your arguments, you can review the controls. Well then, good luck and have fun. I don't feel prepared for this at all. Make your arguments. Evidence of a struggle. Hang on, what? That's my truth bullet.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono!
Yes,
Yeah,
that was
we
correct.
know that part already.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
Okay. Okay, I can pause to think. The murder took place in Makoto's room. That's correct.
In the bathroom.
Yes.
So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom.
Okay. I'm gonna so abuse the ability to pause to think. No. That's wrong. There's evidence of a struggle before the bathroom.
She didn't even have a chance to resist.
There's something odd about that last statement that definitely contradicts what I already know. For the first debate, we'd like to take a quick sidebar. If you're unable to stop and refute someone's lies or contradictions, the argument will repeat. Within a group of statements, some words will appear in a different colour. Did you happen to notice? They represent a potential hole in a person's statement or a possible weak spot. These weak spots reveal important, though not always inaccurate, sections of a person's statement. The truth bullets are only effective against these weak spots, so when you see one come up, take aim and fire, but only if you're sure it's actually wrong. Also, you can fast forward an argument by holding down the B button. Well then, good luck and have fun.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono!
Yeah, we know that part already.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
I assert that the...
So I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. He says there's something wrong, but then it repeats?
Yeah, we know that part already.
And the murder took place
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
Why wasn't the bullet not working?
I assert that the one who was murdered...
And the murder took place.
In the bathroom, so it seemed the killer must have taken her by surprise. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm just gonna move my face as well.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono!
Yeah, we know that part already.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the
I'm wasting a
bathroom,
bunch of bullets because I'm gonna load my game.
so it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
What? I don't... Why is that not working? So let's move the cursor.
I assert that the one who was murdered
Right,
was
what I'm gonna
Miss
do is I'm
Sayaka
gonna
Maizono!
put a cut here and figure out
Yeah,
what...
we know that
Oh.
part.
Right, literally moments after I put the cut in, I managed to get it right, but obviously I wasn't recording at that point, so I had to load my game.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono!
Yeah, we know that part already.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
So whiter. Okay, if you choose the wrong statement or truth bullet, you will take damage. If your influence gauge reaches 0, you will end that case. So I don't think I was taking any damage. Focus determines how much concentration you can do. Hold down the RB button. You can concentrate and slow down the passage of time. This will consume your focus gauge if you can't concentrate when it's empty. Fast forward with the B button, weak spots. That's when the writing goes yellow, and Y to fire. Hold down the LB button to open your truth cylinder. If you quickly press the LB, it will quickly do that. Okay, I won't worry about
In the
flashbacks.
bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
Okay.
I assert that the one who was murdered...
And the murder took place.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
Okay.
No,
Time.
that's wrong.
Objection!
Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked. With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
A struggle? Between who and who?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying
Idiot.
Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom?
She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the bathroom to try and hide. The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
It's like this is a tutorial or something.
Sorry.
Aww.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real
I'm gonna have to put
trial.
a bullet in. We need to determine what was used to kill Sayaka. It was a knife, so I'll put knife evidence in, I guess. Make your argument. Okay. Kitchen knife set.
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon.
So the killer used some random knife they had on him.
No, that's wrong.
How could anyone do something like that? That son of a bitch!
I'm an idiot. Okay, I'm glad
So
we're
what
still in
was
tutorial.
used to kill?
There was some kind of sharp... Without a doubt.
So the killer used some random knife they had.
No, that's wrong.
Okay,
No,
so I'll get used to the timing.
I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach. And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us?
You murderer.
I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
That's right. Makoto's room was this.
Yes. What more proof do you need? Sorry, I
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we've presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
She's right. There's got to be a breakthrough somewhere, just waiting for us to find it. Also, it was Leon. Because I know damn well I'm not the killer. There's a bit more to learn about the non-stop debate. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely. You can concentrate by holding the RB button. While you're concentrating, time will slow down. You can pay closer attention to what everyone's saying. On top of that, it will steady your aim, making it easier to target potential weak spots. So, the fact that I'm aiming is actually a skill-based thing. That's... okay, fair enough, that's a feature. Rather than me going, why is this so weird? That's a feature. It's a feature of the game. And I can slow down. Concentrating it like this, it consumes the focus gauge. So if people say like, what's it with him? And it went really fast, I can slow down. Focus gauge will recover over time. To let your brain take a rest, no need to rush. Well then, good luck and have fun! Make your argument. Can I change this? No.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon. But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret, when nobody was in...
Nobody was in the dining hall, okay.
No, that's wrong! Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Next you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier?
Well, I went to get some tea from the kitchen last night. That's how I remember her talking. And all the knives were still there. But when I finished my tea and went back into the kitchen to wash my glass, one of the knives was gone. So you're saying the knife disappeared while you were drinking your tea in the dining hall? Yeah.
Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, Aoi, try and put 2 and 2 together now.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall, but I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this? What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together, and lying to protect each other? Idiot swimmer girl?
Yeah, I think she's referring to you.
Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer.
Appreciate that.
Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
Okay.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Unless they both do a murder.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
What if everyone grabbed a knife at the same time and all stabbed? Then only one person would have to die.
But what if they did work together, and they just didn't know about the rule?
That's quite reasonable.
Good grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case!
Oh, you're not allowed to tell us that. That's information we didn't know.
Oops! Did I say that out loud?
Okay, fair enough.
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife.
Yeah, that's your word,
So
mate.
I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife?
Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall.
Yeah, but if that's according to her statement, and if her statement isn't true, then Makoto's a suspect.
No way! I swear it wasn't me!
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that? I can.
That's right! Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
She sounds like someone. Who do you sound like?
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Me.
Right.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because, well,
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over.
She sounds like the cat from Persona. And I can't check until I finish the game, obviously.
Which means we have airtight alibis.
It's gonna ruin Aoi, damn it.
You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations?
We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms, but it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room, so I don't think that's a problem.
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome!
They're both girls, and it can still be unwholesome.
But I'm a girl.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Someone else. There's like 11 other people we could have been. 10 other people. even.
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Oh, yeah, that's true! One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Yeah.
Well, because they're not here anymore.
Ah. Junko. Thank you. Makoto, you're an idiot.
Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall.
Oh.
And then later, she wound up dead.
So she took the knife. Sayaka? Okay, now that's clever, because otherwise Makoto would be taken off the list too early. Okay, so the person who took the knife from the kitchen was Sayaka.
I got it! Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
To defend herself.
That's the only possibility. And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen.
We didn't consider this when we were considering who grabbed the knife, even though now it seems really obvious.
As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
Then the person who took the knife was the victim herself!
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it? In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
Yeah.
What?
See? He did do it after all!
I don't know what that face thing... I mean...
No! You're wrong!
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction?
Is this going to be his voice now? It's the nastiest voice I can possibly get.
It is, isn't it?
You possess a most terrifying talent.
I'm leaning on it slightly too hard, but... Damn, if I don't do something, they're gonna blame me for the murder! Don't they understand? If they convict me, everyone's gonna
Hold
die!
on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer. wouldn't you say? Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
I mean, you can. You can have mysteries, but yeah, sure.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Somebody changed the signs?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there.
Oh, yes. Hair.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
You're still looking at me. I mean, I don't see anyone else around here. Your first Hangman's Gambit is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely, and I don't know why that's not the standard option. As things advance further in the class trial, the Hangman's Gambit will eventually take place. The point of this is to reveal an important phrase related to the incident in question. You'll have to deduce the phrase from the letters flying around, and the letters already known. Oh, Hangman. Yeah, I get it now. That's sort of clever. Yeah. Complete the phrase by shooting down the flying letters in the right order. Use the left stick to aim and the Y button to shoot the desired letters. If you shoot down the wrong letters, you'll suffer damage to your influence gauge. If the gauge reaches 0, or if you run out of time, you fail. Well then, good luck, have fun. Something that should have been at the scene, but wasn't. That must be the crucial point. If I can just figure out what that something is... Hair. The answer is hair. What? Okay, I get it.
Now I understand.
Okay. You've got to shoot more
That's
once.
right. There wasn't a single hair on the floor.
So I wanted
So-
to zoom.
The culprit removed some evidence?
Yes. And if I were the culprit,
Yeah, but if you were trying to hide it, then that would be a good way to hide it.
why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room?
To make someone else...
It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there.
What?
That makes sense, does it not?
No.
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Ha ha ha! Yes, very true, very true.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
Because the killer could be found via his red hair.
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Or to make it look like the killer did that.
Wait, then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Because Makoto could have done that thinking it was a good way to put suspicion on someone else. I know Makoto didn't do it, because we're Makoto,
Then
but still.
Makoto isn't the culprit?
No, you have not definitively proved
Are you
that.
sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
She looks smug.
I would like to hear these reasons.
I agree.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene? Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then
Oh, yeah,
fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, because it was locked, but there's no reason to lock the bathroom.
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
No, they undid.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
The killer struggled getting into the bathroom. Alright, okay. It's the bathroom doorknob.
I got it! Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? and the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
You're a nut. You're as crazy as a coke. No, hang on.
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
Or that Makoto did it on purpose to try and make it look like someone else did it.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
He could have done it after the murder. Definitely not suspicious, that face.
You still don't see? Okay then, let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
Okay, but he could have undid it after the killing her. He could have killed her, closed the door, then undid it to make it look like somebody who didn't know about his doorknob did it. He would know that now. He could do that, and he would have to put the hair somewhere. But the actual proving is the glass throne, because you need to be a baseball star to do that. But it was a bewildering act. I almost didn't notice at first, but is that the key point here? There's a bit more to learn about non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely. Her face is amazing. I love her face. From here on out, the number of weak spots will start going up. But no matter how many weak spots, there's essentially only one lie or contradiction in that debate. What I'm trying to say is not all weak spots you see are necessarily false. Use a truth bullet on the wrong one, and not only will you fail to refute what they said, but you'll also lower your trust with everyone. Your influence gauge will take damage. Now, this is important because if your influence gauge reaches 0, you fail! You have to rely on your own logic to determine which weak spots are actually lies or contradictions. Well then, good luck, and have fun! Alright, I know it's near the end of the episode, but we'll make one more out of it. Bathroom door frame? Do I get to change it? No, it appears that we're talking about the bathroom door frame.
The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was
First stacked in the main room. This is cheap. Oh, don't interrupt.
She then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door.
Okay.
Because Sayaka had locked it.
No.
No, that's wrong.
Can't lock the main bathroom.
The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with walking bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door, that's not lucky at all.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place? Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
Because the killer thought he was in the wrong... Oh! The killer didn't swap the signs. Sayaka swapped the signs. That's clever.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
One important detail. Something the killer didn't know. For some reason, they were convinced the door was locked. Which means the important detail... The crime took place in my room.
I got it! The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
Okay, being able to pause is basically a superpower and it's making me cheat, isn't it?
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable!
Appreciate him saying inconceivable. because he's the most like that guy from Princess Bride.
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms, which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through.
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. The killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
You still haven't proved that it couldn't be Makoto that did all of this.
Definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
Unless you were trying to... Can I still pause? Of course.
That is a definite possibility.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
That's everyone.
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
Makoto could have still done it. Makoto could have just done all these things, knowing that it would put suspicion on someone else. But that's what I've been trying to tell you.
Then who did do it?
I'm sorry, but I give up! Quit without saving!
What?
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Aww.
Well then, why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules!
What? Dude, you're all gonna die.
Majority
yes.
rules? You really think that's a good idea?
What? Why would you argue against majority rules? That's the best case for you, because you're going to die.
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Right, I'm going to pause right now, because I'm going to let you go. I've been John Foxy and John West. I am very, very hungry, and I'm not going to be able to eat for at least 40 minutes, because of how long it takes to cook. You didn't need to know that. I've been having a Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc adventure. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Thank you for watching.